evening. My name is Evelyn Smith, and this is my speech for Communications 110 Public Speaking. Cultural Defense from Early America to Current America. The purpose of this speech is to inform everyone listening that a large part of American culture is the country's people defending their land and their freedoms. The enduring defense of national freedoms and values, both individually and communally, has been a significant and persistent element of American culture in the past and in the present. From early America to current America, American citizens have always worked hard to defend and fight for their country, its freedoms, and its values. This is a large cultural practice in America to defend values whether communally or individually. Quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it down to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free." Quote from Ronald Reagan. The enduring defense of national freedoms and values, both individually and communally, has been a significant and persistent element of American culture in the past and in the present. This is proven by community defense in the beginnings of America, individual defense in the beginnings of America, and communal and individual defense in the present America. These points are very relevant to the modern American citizen, who must remember that this cultural practice is important for a reason, and it must be put into practice. There were two main ways of cultural defense in early America. The first was the local militia. The second was the communal defense in early America via the army. The local militia was a large part of early American culture in terms of communal defense. It consisted of smaller groups of men that often used cat and mouse and guerrilla war tactics to help aid the official army and make surprise attacks on the enemy. The army was the largest part of communal defense in early America and consisted of different regiments and ranked officers that defended their values and country in battle, sacrificing themselves and working hard every day just so that their country could be free. There were several ways of individual defense in America. Two large ways were defense from one's own home and espionage. Many citizens chose to defend from their own homes. They would do this by helping wounded soldiers, refusing housing to enemies, and keeping enemies off their land with surprise ambushes. Another way individuals could defend their freedoms from their own towns or homes was actually through the army with espionage. For those who had enemies quartering in their homes or towns, they would spy and send writings and plans that the enemies would discuss to the army. This was very helpful to the army and helped win the war. There were many popular ways of communal and individual defense in current America. For communal defense, going into a branch of the military is very common and a great way for people to defend their country. For individual defense, voting is the main way that an individual person can defend their freedoms and values. Many people choose to join the military for the defense of their country. With all of the branches, they span across America and do their best every day to keep every section of the country and its values safe. For the individual citizen, voting is a large part of keeping their freedoms and values alive. Without voting, a citizen would be forfeiting their freedoms and therefore not defending their country. In conclusion, throughout early America to current America, individual and communal defense has always been a large cultural practice. From militias to showing up at voting booths, the American people will always continue this tradition from over 250 years ago. From community and individual defense in the beginnings of America, to communal and individual defense in current America, the enduring defense of national freedoms and from values, both individually and communally, has always been and always will be a significant and persistent element of American culture from the past to the present. Defending freedoms and values is such an important American cultural practice. If it is not in practice, it runs the risk of losing the freedoms and values that America holds so dear. Americans must continue to fight for their freedoms to continue this beautiful country. Thank you for your time.